Hey folks, Kilt-Man here, Kilt-Man at your services. And yes, he's still drinking Budweiser because there's no whiskey in the house. But don't you worry about that. We've been out and there's been plenty of whiskey being supped down this neck. It's all in here now, it's all guzzling down here now, making me feel very, very warm on this very, very warm summer's day as well. Anyway, folks, hope you're all doing very, very well. Now, there is a channel on UK TV at the moment called Forces TV. It's, as the name would suggest, it's designed for Forces personnel. Ex-Forces myself, and knowing many people who are also ex-Forces, but also people that are in the Forces still. I don't know anybody that watches it who's in the Forces. They're all people at home, just civvies, just us who are watching it, and it just sprung out of nowhere really for me. I didn't know it even existed for a while, and discovered things like the Man from Atlantis, rediscovered Man from Atlantis, Blake 7, vintage Doctor Who, vintage sitcoms like Watching, The Scouse Watching, and other like Robert Urich in Spencer for Hire. Awesome. In fact, unbelievably awesome. Really, really loved it. When we flicked onto it and you see these things, you go, oh Jesus, Blake 7, what a load of shite that was. No. I correct myself. It's fucking great. You start watching it and you get, end of the day, end of the night, you've done your daily work, you've been out, you've walked the dog, you've had numerous amounts of whiskies and beers, and I've done a couple of videos for you guys, and then chill out time. I don't want to watch news at 10. I don't want to watch any of that fucking bollocks. I don't want to watch any soaps. I'll flick around. Everyone else is frigged off, so I'll flick around. Forces TV, Man from Atlantis. I did a video on it. It is utter shite, and yet it's fun to watch because it's nostalgia. It's all part of, as you get older, nostalgia means something to you. When you're a kid, nostalgia means nothing. You haven't got no idea what nostalgia is. What that charm of the things that you saw when you were a kid, the things that were wowing and awing and jaw-dropping at the time, which then in your teens and your 20s, you kind of go, oh, fucking hell. No, I didn't used to watch that. No, it was garbage. It was crap. No. I was out with women all the time. I was doing party things and drugs and drink, and I didn't watch that. And then you watch it again, years and years later, and you go like, oh shit, I remember this. And you snuggle into that cozy, nostalgic blanket of yesteryear, and it's just fucking awesome. So, Doctor Who's an obvious one, obviously, and Forces TV shows a lot of vintage Doctor Who stuff. They show Blake 7, the very thing I detested as a kid, and I did. I thought it was so shoddy and so slipshod and so fake. But I've watched loads of it again on Forces TV and really, really got into it. Go figure. Seriously, go figure. Where does that come from? How does that turn around and take about? How does it happen? How do you suddenly, things you despised, and speaking of which, the Smiths, I detested the Smiths, the band the Smiths, hated them at the time, now love them. But it's an example again of how the world turns and how your opinions do completely reverse themselves sometimes. But there's so many great shows on this. Spencer for Hire is fantastic. Robert Urich from Vegas. Oh my Christ almighty. I love Robert Urich. Sadly, he's now gone. But my God almighty, he was amazing in Vegas. And Spencer for Hire was a show that I didn't really give any time to. I think that was a bit later. I was definitely, I might have been living with Mrs. Kilt-Man at the time. I'd grown up a lot in those years, and so I don't think I've actually watched it. I was aware of it, but I thought, nah, I'm not watching that crap. A TV thriller, rubbish. But violence. Having watched it again on Forces TV, I've genuinely loved it. Loved it. And there's many other shows as well. But the one I want to come on to right now is a show that initially when I discovered Forces TV, this was not on. You're hearing it now. Some of you are going like, my God, listen to that theme. It's fantastic. And it is fantastic. And I thought, oh my God, CHiPs. California Highway Patrol with the I and the S added on. And the quotation marks, CHiPs. Wow. Jesus. As a kid, Eric Estrada. Fuck yeah. You wanted to be him. Yeah. Wow. He's fucking, he's sexy. He's fucking muscly. You know, he looks great. He's tanned. And he had his mate, John. Boring John. John was his fucking name. Larry Wilcox played him. John Baker. And Eric Estrada was, get on this, Francis Llewellyn Poncherelli. Francis Llewellyn Poncherelli. Known as Frank or Ponch. And in the show he's Mexican, but Eric Estrada was actually born in Harlem, New York. So, but he was Spanish Harlem. So he was very Latino, but he looks Mexican. So that served the whole purposes of his role in this show. California Highway Patrol officers, you know, on the beat, up and down the highways of California, and the sun-drenched beaches, and you know, it looked great. As a kid, you just thought, I want to be one of them. I want to be one of them. But I remembered it as being like an action-packed drama, and kind of more serious. And then, so many decades have passed since I saw it, and then discovering it or rediscovering it on Forces TV. And I thought, oh, CHiPs is on. Oh, gotta do this. My daughter was around, and I said, like, oh, stay. You're not going to bed. Stay here, because it come on late. I said, stay here. You're watching this. This is one of Dad's favourite shows, and it come on. And I'll be honest, for the first 2 or 3 episodes, because they run about 3 or 4 a night, and it ran from 1977 to 1983, I think. 139, 140 episodes, 6 seasons, maybe more. I'm not too sure. I was saying, not too sure. I wrote some notes on it, but I'm trying not to look at them. But no, it went for a long time, a big long run. And I said, oh, Dad used to love this, watch this. But oh my God, I was just in paroxysms of just agony the first 2 episodes that we watched. And I was just, Jesus, this is awful. And I was getting memories of when I rediscovered Man from Atlantis. And then I remembered, yeah, but it's funny how you hated it, Man from Atlantis, when you rediscovered it. And then you watched it again and again and again, and just forgave all the cheeseball antics and the ridiculous repeated effects and the same naff storylines, and grew to like kind of love it in its cheeseball fashion. So give this a chance. And I gave it a chance. And fucking CHiPs is amazing. It's true. I don't care. You can turn off now. You can go, no. Kilt-Man, I'm out. You know, no. It's bloody amazing. It's so heartwarming, so rewarding, so, there's that word again, nostalgic. It brings it all back. I don't believe it has any bearing on reality in like today's California Highway Patrol, you know, daily routine. But apparently it did have a lot of sort of authenticity at the time when it was made, because they had a lot of advices. Rick Rosner created it, and Rick Rosner, a big TV producer, he got the idea because, now I am trying to struggle with this now, I'm sure he was in a hospital and he saw 2 California Highway Patrol guys come in looking really fucking super efficient and cool in their skin tight beige with their little stripe down the pants and their boots on and their fucking helmets on and their, you know, their Ray-Bans on. And wow, he just thought, they look like heroes. I can write a drama about them. And he'd done like a sort of emergency TV show, a sort of like a emergency, I don't know, 911, but ambulance crew thing. I could be wrong about that. And he just thought, I'll combine that with these guys and create a drama. And but that was the idea, but it evolved into CHiPs. And now, in reality, two guys do not ride together. That almost sounds biblical. Two men should never ride together, saith the Lord. But the CHiPs officers ride alone, and but they wanted to try and create a drama with two characters in it. So you got Larry Wilcox as John, and you got Eric Estrada as Poncharelli, and the idea was, well, how do we get the two of them together? Okay, right, so Ponch is going to be the renegade. So Ponch is on probation. So he's got the first season, the idea was we're going to have he's got to have someone chaperoning him. But because the first season was so successful and everyone loved the camaraderie between the two, that they kept it going. So these two would ride together all the time, and no one ever questioned it, and it was great. And they're riding Kawasaki's. I think the model did change throughout the seasons, but they're riding Kawasaki's, and they look amazing. They're just gliding through. You know, that opening title sequence, you're hearing the music now, and I will come on to this greatly very soon. And the opening title sequence, they'd be there riding along, going down the highways, just riding in between vehicles, multi-lane traffic, just gliding along. And that opening title, it would cut to like the baton, it would cut to the boots, it would cut to the gun, it would cut to them on the throttles, and then the close up to the faces, and John would just be there riding there, super cool. And they would cut to Eric Estrada as Ponch, who we all fucking loved, and Ponch would just be grinning, and he'd look round at John, like, we're loving this, and it was great. You love Ponch. Now the thing about Ponch is that when you watch it now, he's a fucking idiot. He's a complete fucking idiot. He's the Martin Riggs, but without the violence, but without the suicidal tendencies. He's just a complete and utter plonker. He fucks everything up. Makes a fool of himself every single time. He's always in trouble with Sergeant Gutreya, played by, hang on a second, Robert Pine, who's the lovable but gruff sergeant who was always issuing a bollocking to these guys or whoever, where's your report on this? And it's coming, Sarge, yeah, Frank, he doesn't call him Ponch, he calls him Frank, Frank, I want this today, that's today, before the end of the PM, I want this report on my desk. It's like, it'll be there, Sarge, and Ponch just struts out with a big sparkly, gleam on his teeth, those immaculate teeth, those Hollywood teeth, and but it's fucking great. The dynamic is great. The camaraderie is tremendous. You've got other officers there as well, some who drive cars, and others on bikes and that, and you've got the female officers too. It's the 70s and into the 80s, so to have female characters who are actually doing stuff, they're always in the background. Every episode would have a multi-car pile-up on the freeways because someone's joyriding, and they were never it's the other thing as well, they were never really there's no violence in it at all. I don't recall any punch-ups. And now, bear in mind, there was 139, 140 odd episodes, and I've probably only seen about maybe 20, 30 in this run from Forces TV. So there may be stuff in later seasons which could happen, but it may turn darker, although I do doubt it. I don't think it does, because it occupied that sort of late afternoon, very early evening TV slot. the sort of time stuff that the A-Team would have or the Incredible Hulk would have. So no real violence, nothing to disturb the kids, nothing to upset the parents about their kids watching it. So it was very safe. But you still had people who were drink driving, people with guns. There's an episode where, unbelievably, and actually this was on recently, and it didn't half surprise me. Excuse me one moment. Well, you had these two gun-toting rednecks who had a real sort of complex about coppers, and like let's lure one out with a fake 911 call. So they lure out one of the police cruisers, and the guy gets out the car because he can hear sounds in the scrublands. They're off the beaten track, and off he goes. So while he's gone, they strafe his car with shotguns and machine guns. It's only two guys, but they're multi-armed, and blow the shit out of this car. And I was watching this thinking, shit, that's firepower being used against the law. And are they going to kill him? If he comes back, they're going to kill him. I genuinely thought this guy was going to be shot when he come back to his car. He's gone off in the distance. He hears the gunfire. He only took about 3 or 4 strides away from his car, and yet when the gunfire starts, he's a half a mile away, and he's trying to run back, and he's ducking and diving, because who's there? Who's doing this? But in the meantime, our two guys, John and Ponch, are coming up, and they managed to get there and catch these two guys who, believe it or not, surrender their weapons and get, they're cuffed and all. What are you doing? What do you think you're doing? Oh man, no, just don't worry. We didn't want to hurt anybody. We didn't hurt anyone. We just wanted. We don't like you cops. Just wanted to just have a prank and kill one of your cars. Didn't want to hurt any of you guys. So they watered it down. You've got to wonder how that effect would have on people watching, dickheads watching that kind of program. Oh, it's alright to shoot up police cars. You don't mean to hurt the police. And what's the next step is, oh, well, that was fun. Now let's shoot the policemen themselves. But it was an unusual episode, and it wrapped up happily as well. You gotta learn, don't shoot at police cars. And the payoff was this poor guy who was one of the regulars who drives the cars, the cruisers, and he's well, how do I get home? You guys got your bikes. Don't worry, we'll send a tow truck for you. And it's the finale. Everyone's, and there's the other thing as well. The finale of this show. Well, this takes some getting used to, I'll be honest, because the first episode I saw on this sort of rerun of Forces TV, and this was risky or risque in many ways itself, and does not date itself. Ponch, the ladies' man, who never gets a girl, from what I've seen. He's always chatting them up, and they're always drawn to him, but he never gets anyone because he fucks something up all the time. He's a buffoon. He's an idiot. He's a clumsy klutz, and his patter comes unstuck. He drops himself in the shit every time. And so anyway, there's an episode where there's this advertising slogan, a big poster slogan on billboards on the side of trucks, and I think it's is it for suntan lotion or something? I know it sounds bizarre, but it's this gorgeous girl, with sparkly teeth and 70s, Farrah Fawcett, swishy hair. A little bit like this, maybe. But looking gorgeous, and they're riding the bikes everywhere. And every day they see this poster, this billboard of this girl, and Eric Estrada's going John, I'm gonna find her. Yeah, I want her. And John's goes, that's it, yeah, we're gonna do that. But Sergeant Gutreya later in the episode goes by the way, this girl you're interested in, I know her. She's a relative of mine. Do you want to meet her? I'll set something up for you. And they're well, Ponch is Really, Sarge? Really? You do that for me? You do that for me? Big sparkly teeth. And they're going like, yeah, of course, just come round. So after whatever the adventure is of that particular episode, which would be nothing anyway, carjackers, just whatever, people selling fake ice creams on the side, whatever it is, it's never anything major. It's never anything major. But that isn't the point. It's always good. It's always good fun. And so at the end, well, you come to our house and you'll meet her. She'll be there, but everyone's there as well. All the other guys, all the other the people who drive the police cars, and the ones who man the the phones, the 911 calls, and John's there, and Sergeant Goodtreya, and all right, Punch, are you ready? Because she's here right now. It is a relative of mine, and this 13-year-old girl comes out, and Punch is like, what? And she sits down next to him. Hiya, Punch. Hiya. The laugh and the joke about this entire scenario is that Punch has fancied this girl from her billboard posters, who'd been obviously filtered and made up and all that, and then the real girl comes through, and they're all Punch, this is the girl you want to shag, basically. Well, here she is. And he's like, hey, no, I can't do this. No, this is wrong. And she's gone, no, Punch, stay. I'm very interested in highway patrol. Please stay and talk to me. And he's like, I don't think. And they're going no, you Punch, you stay, you talk to her. How many levels is that wrong on? Fucking every level you can think of, it's wrong on. But bleeding into the thing which, when I first saw this, at the end of each episode, you have this at the time, and this was the episode which I thought, what the fuck are they doing? At the end of the episode, before the credits come up, while the credits come up, it just ends, but then you get an extended sort of clips of them sort of laughing, and a freeze frame, and Punch going, and this girl going, and it goes on forever. And when I come back to this, I was like, what the fuck are they doing? This is just pure pedo ridiculousness. It's just wrong. It's wrong on every fucking possible level. But it was funny. And I thought that show's fucked up. Whatever I remember as a kid watching this, that was not it. I thought it was non-stop excitement and chasing bad guys and fist fights. No, none of that. It's comedy, it's camp, it's taking the piss out of Punch. And once you realise that, it's fucking great. It's great. And then, because every episode I've seen since then, they have that ending as well. It's always Punch is always the butt of the joke. And he's the good-looking one. He's the hero. And they take it's so not what you think. It's sort of, back technology, back engineers what you think the scenario should be. John should be he's a straight man. But he always comes up smelling of roses. And it's our hero, it's our good-looking guy that's always the knobhead and makes a tit of himself and comes massively unstuck every time. And he's ridiculed. That's great. That's actually very forward thinking, and yet you didn't know it at the time. And when you first watch it again now, you're going oh god, this is awful. This is so awful. But then you watch a few more episodes and you go, oh shit. I see what they're doing. Whether they knew what they were doing at the time, I don't know. I can't testify to that. But it works now as an sort of deconstruct the hero machismo and take the piss big time. But that particular one where it's a younger girl is a very sort of that you would not get that now. You would not get that episode told that way now. But and that's, I think, from what I've seen, that's the longest sort of climax of the freeze frames and all that kind of stuff. And it just goes on forever. It's almost like, they know what they're doing and they're just taking the piss. How far can we take this? How far will you allow us to go with this? But it's great. It's so fucking stupid and funny. And every episode has that sort of thing. The sort of freeze frames, the happy ending, and then you, oh gee shucks, I'm a dickhead, aren't I? Oh, what have I done this time? The episode where Punch, a truck full of glue overturns because some other dickhead's gone up the fucking side and come back down again and swerved in front, and he's gone, it's gone over. So loads of wreckage on the Mad Max on the highway, and Punch, his Kawasaki gets stuck in the glue. And he's like, get out of this, don't worry about this. And he's revving and he's trying to reverse and revving. And like, whoa! And he leaps forward and the glue, he just spins off and he gets covered in glue. Almost like a Laurel Hardy thing. He's all from arse to the top of his helmet, it's just covered in glue. Punch, Eric Estrada got injured a lot. These two guys, Larry Wilcox and Eric Estrada, rode those Kawasaki's throughout most of the episodes that they're in. And Eric Estrada had several injuries because he was more the stunt heavy one. He flipped over the bike one time, broke both wrists and a few ribs. In the first season, which I've seen the first season. I think I'm on the third or fourth season now. He sports a huge bruise in the first season on his arm here, which is plainly on view, and because they wear these ultra tight short sleeve little beige shirts and really fucking Snake Plissken tight fucking kecks. You get on your bike and you rip shit. Ain't getting off this bike again. I've just split my kecks. Wear a kilt. And so he's damaged because I think he skidded off the bike and bounced a bit and this bruise lasted for a long time. This scar lasted for a long time. But, and here's the other thing as well. Eric Estrada did try to make a break into movies, and it didn't work. No, it didn't work. CHiPs had a reunion in the 90s, and they made a movie out of it as well with them. I think there's been a sort of remake movie which I think went fucking nowhere. In fact, I think it was an absolute piss take, wasn't it? And even as a piss take, it massively failed big time. It was just everyone walked out from screenings of it. It was that bad. But Eric Estrada, his first passion was to be a copper, to be a policeman. And he drifted into acting because he was trying to wow a girl, a particular woman he was interested in. And he thought, I'll do this just to try and get interested, which didn't work. But he got bitten by the bug of acting and he just stuck with it. And then he drifted into this. And because he's Hispanic, but from New York, he looks Mexican. So that worked perfectly for the California Highway Patrol. And some episodes where he's you got some Mexican gangs who are they ain't doing much. They're just skateboarding renegade style down the freeways or whatever the hell they're doing. They're robbing fruit machines and fucking, I don't know what they're doing. It's not any major crimes, it's not, no assassins, no, hitmen, nothing like that. No rapes on the, on the banks of the freeway, nothing like that. But, and they say to him, because there's a gang after them, but it's all playful as well, no one gets hurt. And they go hey man, why are you stopping us? Look, you're one of us, brother, amigo. And he's going yeah, but you still gotta toe the line. I'm the law. Because I am gonna be Judge Dredd. I am the law. I'm the Stallone version of Judge Dredd. No, and it's just, it's all it's obvious and yet great good fun at the same time. And you don't half love Punch. Eric Estrada is brilliant. I was going to say, in later years, Punch, because Eric Estrada said because he wanted to be a policeman. After this and all the reunions and the follow-ups and all that kind of stuff, he said I'm going to join the police. And he did. And he's worked in, he became a a deputy sheriff in some state, and then he actually rode a bike as well and became a highway patrol, a real highway patrol officer. Fucking hell, you know, Christ, that's method acting going ultra beyond. And he's now in his 70s, but the last thing he was doing internet safety for kids in a police officer advisory capacity, and he was doing it online, and he was doing it in school classrooms, teaching kids how to be safe online. And he was a fully fledged police officer. Fucking great, Eric Estrada, man, you know, fucking awesome, you know, genuinely awesome. Love that. Let's go on to Larry Wilcox now, who played John Baker. Now, John Baker was meant to be a Vietnam veteran, and in several episodes you do get references, but they're very, very vague. Now, you've got to remember, in the 70s, this came out 77, and the first season and season 2, they do reference his Vietnam experiences, but only very slightly. He meets people that are like, they're crims now, like, but hey, John, you know, we've been through some shit together, you know. Well, they don't say that, obviously, but you know how I feel. And John's like, yeah, but you know, there's a better way. There's a better way, man. There's a better way. One of the first shows ever to actually address someone coming back from Vietnam and taking a role in modern society, well, then modern society, in a positive role. Because what would you have after that? You would have obviously First Blood. You'd have Uncommon Valor. You would have Jesus, I forgot what it's called now. I don't believe it. But loads of Vietnam veterans, the Deer Hunter. Loads of Vietnam veterans coming back and not having a great time of it when they come back home. And John Baker was the kind of antithesis of that. He's like, well, no, I was out there, yeah, it was bad. They don't really address it at all. It's just said in some throwaway remarks, but it gives some gravitas to his character, and it's not boring. He is not boring at all. He was always meant to be the boring one, the straight man, for Ponch's fucking antics. But John's in it just as much as Ponch is. He's in it all the time, and he is funny, and the women do like him as well. And here's the other thing. 70s women and early 80s women. Oh, fuck me. Yeah. Well, please fuck me. Awesome. And this is where, you know, this whole nostalgia trip. You've got these guys are gliding down through the traffic, and they're not going at speed. They're gliding, and it looks so effortless and sensual. Yeah, look, these are blokes riding motorbikes, and I'm saying it looks sensual. It fucking does. And they're gliding in and out of traffic, and like the gorgeous sun-baked freeways. It looks amazing. And then you'll get some girl in like some open top, some fucking convertible, and she's, well, whatever she's wearing. Not a great deal. Doesn't even matter what she's wearing. She's got long fucking flowing hair, and she sees Ponch. Ponch is riding up next to her with his shades on. you can't do this shit these days. You just can't do it. You couldn't do it for real then as a real police officer on a motorbike at all. Although I'm sure they did. And like this girl's sort of driving, and she's going like, and like a bit of thighs on show, and like flashing the pearly blues, fluttering the eyelashes, fluttering the hair, and he's going like, he's riding with his shades on, and he's going to John. So I'm swiveling around here, and John's over here, and he's going like, John. And John's going like, You can't do that. You're saying that these guys are not like fucking picking up women. I'm going to join the California Highway Patrol. Because if that's the case, fucking awesome. Although I don't think I can get my hair under them fucking little tight little bullet-headed helmets. But they do look sexy as fuck. They do. The skin tight stuff, that that beige sort of colour. Tons of badges. Americans, you know, you just love, you know, insignia emblazoned all over you. You wear too many. But I don't mind that. I love that. I love, you know, signposts and stuff like, I am a fucking, I am Kilt-Man. I am a fucking Celtic, bohemian, barbarian warrior. You know, I've got stamped all over me. And that's what these guys are like, you know, it's just badge after badge after badge, you know, it's fucking great. But the weird thing is, these girls are like, you know, they're giving the come on eyes to these guys. Well, I'm poets, and I don't know it. They're giving the eyes to these fellas. And then when Ponch ever tries to meet them afterwards, like, you know, or, you know, he's met them in a bar or whatever. And then, you know, so what is it you do then again, Frank? And he's like, I work in a legal stature. And then John will come in and she's going to go, so what cases have you had lately? Oh, we've had quite a few heavy duty cases, and I really can't go into those right now because it's, you know, lots of the specifics are secrets, and I've got to protect my, you know, my clients' credentials and details and blah 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 blah. And then John will come in like, hey, Frank. Oh, hey, Ponch. You'll say, not Frank. Hey, Ponch. You all right? Listen. We've got an area ride tomorrow. Sergeant Gutierrez got a lead on so and so he wants us and the rest of the police to go out, and like the girls go like, what? Are you a cop? And Ponch will go, and it freeze frame, and John will go like, and she'll go, and it goes on forever. But in other words, like, oh, well, you're a cop. I don't want to know you. No, I'm not interested in you. Why not? In movies these days, they're fucking drawn to cops and heroes and fucking soldiers. That's all the women ever seem to want these days, is a fucking hero, a maverick bastard with a gun, you know. But Eric Estrada, he's awesome. But Larry Wilcox is great as well. And there's loads of scenes where they've got kids. There's one where this kid's going crazy on a little dirt bike and he's riding down the freeways. He's about fucking 7 years old and he's doing all Evel Knievel, because Evel Knievel was alive at the time and was doing stuff, and he's doing all stuff down these. So in a side story to the main story, there's always several stories in these things. They capture him and they take him back to his single mum. And she's like, oh my God, he always gets out. No, oh yeah, he always gets out. And they're going, we understand. Yeah, he's a bit of a renegade, isn't he? You'd be like, social services, you can't look after this kid and he's in charge of a bike like that and he's going down the freeways every opportunity he gets. He's endangering his own life, everybody else's life, and our lives, and we're bringing it back to you all the time. But he wants to ride their bikes. He wants to become one of them. And they're like, well, okay, we'll give him a shot. So they ride him around on one of their bikes. And then, can I show you what I can do? And this single mum's got a fucking field with horses and all shit like that. And he rides around. He's like, he's ragging this fucking little tiny miniature dirt bike around. And they're going like. But by the way, don't take it out on the roads, because we'll have to bring you back again, you know. The messages are massively mixed, but the fun element is huge. In the UK, we got annuals. An annual, for those of you in America who apparently don't know, you didn't get these things. You got magazines and comics and all that. We got all that as well, but we got like a Doctor Who or a Space 1999, a Starsky and Hutch, Professionals, all the TV shows would have an annual. It'll be a comic strip book, hardback book, once a year. Christmas time, you get your annuals. Oh, it was great. When you're a kid in the 70s, Jesus Christ. For me, my folks would wrap them up separately. So it wouldn't be like a stack of all the annuals in one thing. They'd be wrapped up separately. So they were extra presents under the tree. and you rip, oh, Space 1999, Star Trek annual, oh my God. And you get CHiPs, there was CHiPs annuals as well. CHiPs had their own little comic strips, and there was a weekly magazine comic thing, like TV, pop culture and music for kids. Before like the likes of Smash Hits came out, this is the 70s, it was called Lookin'. And Lookin' would have a science page, science and technology page, history page, and they would have little like comic book strips of like literally a 2-page thing of the current TV shows for the kids. And but they would have a CHiPs double page spread of CHiPs, because CHiPs was fucking huge in this country. Well, for a while it was. It was shown on a Saturday afternoon, then it went to a Sunday afternoon. I remember that shift. And I think the hour dropped as well. But it was always the Man from Atlantis, the Hulk, and the A-Team, Magnum PI, that sort of slot it would fill. And it was fucking awesome. I loved it. And I've loved revisiting it now. Anyway, let's get on to this. You've heard this playing all the way through this fucking, ridiculous mantra here. But the theme tune was by a guy called John Parker. It was in season 1. And then from season, I think 2 or maybe 3 onwards, the great Alan Silvestri, Alan's film composer, Alan Silvestri, Predator, Back to the Future, The Abyss, Delta Force, The Avengers from later years, still going strong. Awesome, awesome movie scores. He did an arrangement from season 2 or 3 onwards of John Parker's main theme. Let's get into this now. Let's just fucking do this. And it's pure disco. But that theme, close-ups of bits of the bike, batons, guns, leather gloves, throttles, shades, grins. How fucking cool is that? Bit of synth. It's so upbeat. No one ever died. No one ever died in these shows. There would be gangs, criminal gangs, and people doing scams on rich bigwigs, trying to pose as like, we're going to be your security. But they're the ones who are smashing the limo windows in and all that kind of stuff, and threatening the daughter of this business tycoon. So John and Ponch have to pose as security guards for them to unearth the guys who are doing it. But whenever they're caught, it's just like, oh gee heck, oh damn, well you got me, oh. And there's no like, no one ever squares off. And you get drunks in cars who are giving it loads. You got people snogging in cars, and like swap seats so you can sit on my lap. You got that. And this car goes up and down and causes chaos. There's always multi-car pile-ups, and people are hurt and injured, but no one ever dies. No one ever dies, and no one ever gets a fucking smack. There's hardly any, if any. And yet, it's such great, infectious fun. Please, guys, I hope if you remember it, you might not remember it. You might be the same as me. I remembered it in a different way. And when I rediscovered it, it was not what I thought. And then you get to know it again and you go like, oh Jesus, it does work. It is just fun. It's great camaraderie. It's comedy, mostly of all. Yeah. Even high speed pursuits, they're still just gliding. This is the extended version, of course. But you expected that. Chips. I want this. Okay. I was going to make a really big announcement then. I was going to say then that I want that playing as my coffin gets taken down, through the Notre Dame Cathedral. And everyone is out, the pipe bands are out there and the guns are going off and like everyone's wailing, no, how could it happen to him? He was so young. I want that playing. I was going to say that and I just remembered that no. I have a different theme tune playing when I go out. And when I finally get put onto the, my funeral pyre and my longboat is floated out, over towards the Rainbow Bridge, and off I go to Valhalla, ablaze. But in the church, for that big final moment, there is one piece of music I want playing, and I'll be honest, that is really, really at the moment competing with that quite a lot. But the one I want playing is this. I'm going off on a mad tangent, but I was going to say I want that playing at my funeral. But no, I think it's still going to, I've said it before, I've said it a lot actually. I think it's still going to be, oh shit, no, when is it? Oh God. Why do I do this? Once I do this sort of thing, I never find anything. Where the hell is it? Oh, there it is. Found it. Right. And it's John Barry and it's James Bond. And it is, and as many of you know, and many of you definitely do know this, I've discussed it a lot in fact, and I've said this so many times that when I am being carried down, to the end, and everyone's wailing and screaming, I don't want that. I want everyone to be upbeat, and this is my final song, and it is 007. Not the James Bond theme, not that. It's the 007 secondary Bond theme from 5 Bond movies. Sean Connery and I think Roger Moore got one as well. But here we go. It's a Morse code mission in progress. It's so unbelievably exciting and upbeat. And when everyone in the church will be going like, as the coffin comes down, and they're going like, toes are tapping. They're all doing this. The tears, but they're going like, and the coffin's coming down. And inside the coffin you can hear it's so OTT, upbeat, exciting and enthusiastic. And I'd be in there. I'd awaken from the dead. And as we get down near the altar, I'd fling the casket lid open Leap up. How awesome is that? It's got fuck all to do with chips, but you know. And I'll have him, Mr. Kentucky Fudge. You know him, you love him. My protege, my successor, sitting on top of the coffin, the casket. He'll be there, just going like. Eyeing up all the sexy minxes that have missed me. You know, I'm nothing without Kilt-Man. And you go like, I'll make something of you. So you got that. Now that is what I want. But I was going to say, and I'm not kidding you, that's so upbeat and so great and it's so not what you expect from a funeral. But this disco. If it was having this one, there'd be handlebars on the casket and two skeletal hands holding on to them. A pair of like, you know, Ray-Bans and a pair of big Hollywood teeth on top of the casket. Imagine this, they'd all be there going like, it'd be a big disco in the church. You have the priest going like, the organist on a synth. How upbeat is that? No matter what your job is, no matter, you could be a fucking sewage worker. If you wake up to that, look, this is the theme for your daily job, your daily arse grind. Let's take it back. You wake up in the morning, oh god, the day's work. 9 to 5. Okay. Tea and toast for breakfast. No time to eat or drink it. Off you go. Got a train to catch. You're strutting down the street. I've got a shit-kicking boss, but I don't care. I don't get paid fuck all. I don't get a pay rise. But look at me, I'm fucking cool, and I don't give two shits. That is what that theme music says. And that's Alan Silvestri's arrangement of John Parker's original theme score. The trumpet, you know, it's almost like Jerry Goldsmith, the trumpet fucking solo. That's not a trumpet. That's a trumpet. See, it's pure 70s, but it's so fucking great, so enthusiastic, so optimistic, so upbeat. How could you not love that? And this is the thing which, watching it on Forces TV, this recap, this capturing of this, and I've just gone like, oh shit. But at first I thought, God, this is utter garbage. I can't believe how bad this was, and I loved it. And then I went, and yeah, I love it. It's great. I want to be Chips. And that's why, you know, when the coffin's being taken down the aisle, playing this, they go like, well, he's had his chips and he cashed them in. Hear that? Whoop, whoop, whoop. All this little chirruping electro stuff. 70s disco, synth and electro. This is the big extended cut. You know, it's in the freeze frame, and you're going like, and Ponch is going like, what do you think I am, some kind of paedophile? She's about 12 years old. Well, Ponch, and the thing is, Ponch tries to get out of the scenario, but they don't let him. He's still sitting there with this girl, and he wants to go, and she's like all over him, and they're all like, and the 20 blokes around him are going like, and he's like, and she's going like, right, there you go. Folks, that was a whip crack tour through Chips. It's fucking awesome. It genuinely is awesome. It is a blast from the past, but a very, very welcome one. I loved re-embracing these guys in their tight pants and tight shirts. No. It's good fun. And it is, you know, a nostalgic blast from the past. And, you know, you can't beat these things. If you grew up with certain things, when you're older and you revisit them after many, many years, in this case, decades, it brings you back to that halcyon time when you were a kid. You had no worries, no cares, no nothing in the world. Your tea was always there for you. Your clothes were always washed. You could go out and play all day long. School didn't really matter, and then you were just coasting along on fun and sun. Because back in those days, in this country, in the UK, we had summers. You guys in the UK, you people who actually live in the area where this was filmed and the whole thing is set, California, you've got it all fucking year round, you jammy bastards. We have fucking rain we have snow. My birthday, mine and my wife's birthday is on the same day, June the 12th. It's coming up next week. Next week is my birthday, our birthday. And we've had days, and that's summertime, we've had times on our birthday when it's fucking snowed. It's been blizzards. Fucking blizzards. We've also had days in January and the depths of winter where the temperature has been fucking skyrocketing. And like, you're sweating combs, and I've walked out with the dog with no top on, and it's been like the 31st of January, it's been like, you know, middle of Feb. That's when the real bad weather, December's always nice, but the real bad weather hits January, February, and I've been out, no top on, and like, but the next day it'll be sub-zero temperatures. So how can that happen? Global warming, thrown in there, shoveled in some global warming stuff. Like a snowball there, which I'll throw, which will melt before it even hits the screen. It's gone. See, look at that. Global warming for you. So anyway, crazy days, and Chips is fucking awesome. I do urge you, if you can, to watch it, catch up on it, reminisce with it. And if you've got those old annuals, dig them out. I had them. I don't have any of them anymore. But you know what? I'm gonna find them again. I'm gonna I know I can find them elsewhere, and I will purchase those. So here's to you, John and Ponch, but especially you, Ponch, because you actually took this further and you became a copper as well. But apparently the two of them didn't get along so well as well. You always hear this kind of when you got like the professionals, Brody and Doyle, Martin Shaw and Lewis Collins, who lived down the road from me. Who dares wins? Yes. Great camaraderie on screen, and yet did not get along at all. But you always hear this kind of stuff. But whatever happens behind the scenes, when they're asked, are we? Should we be? No. What you're embracing is the characters on screen and the stories they're telling, and they work really, really well. And John being the more straight-laced one, and yet really he's actually involved in so much more, and he does get the women. The women are always interested in him as well. But Ponch is the obvious go-to guy, and you remember him being the obvious go-to guy. And when you watch it now, you go like, shit, he's the butt of all the jokes. He fucks everything up. He's an idiot. He's always in trouble. Sergeant Gutreya is although he's the cantankerous bastard, but he's also fucking great, and he loves the tits off these two guys and all the rest of his squad as well. He's the most lovable fucking tyrant you could ever hope to have, and but they're all a great sort of camaraderie, great sort of team, and chips, mate, last forever. And do you put ketchup on chips, or do you put brown sauce? Do you put barbecue sauce, or you just eat them nudie chips? I don't know. You tell me. The bubbliest bottle of bud ever. Well, I don't give a fuck, and nor should you. So I have been always shall be Kilt-Man. I will never be able to ride a Kawasaki. I can't even ride a fucking bicycle, for Christ's sake, without crashing the bastard. So I've got no chance of joining the California Highway Patrol, even as a glorified kilt wearing fucking super warrior on the Californian coastal highways. Would look good though, wouldn't it? Anyway, I'm open to job offers. Guys, take it easy. Be safe on the roads out there, because those guys are coming after you. And they'll just laugh it off, no matter what you do. Because none of you hurt anyone. You're not carrying weapons. You're not peddling drugs. You're all just nice people who just had a bad day and just causing a bit of a mayhem on the freeways. Your kid's gonna have skateboarding around as well, like. See you all leaders with something else. I can't remember. It's coming your way soon at some point.